According to the Brain Injury Association of America, 5.3 million Americans currently live with disabilities from brain injuries. Every year, 1.4 million Americans sustain brain injuries. Hello, I'm Andrea Copeland. Thank you for joining us today for this Positive Channel's special production featuring Building Bridges. Building Bridges is a nonprofit organization that serves adults with brain injuries, moving them towards independence in a residential community. And here to speak with me more about Building Bridges is Daniela Pretzer. Dr. Pretzer, welcome back to the program.
Well, thank you so much for having us. We're very excited.
Before we speak about what's on the horizon for Building Bridges, tell us a little bit about what the organization does for those who have suffered brain injuries.
Sure. So Building Bridges has 3 homes in the community close to Downtown Mall, and they're operated by live-in staff. So people with brain injuries live together like a family with a staff. It's not staff that goes out and comes home or goes home after 8 hours. They live together. They do things together. They cook together. They learn together. And so that provides, I think, a different trust between the resident and the staff, so that a person with a brain injury can grow in a very different pace than if you have people that you're not quite sure if they're coming back or not coming back. And so when we talk about brain injury, I think I just like to say a few words. People typically think of traumatic brain injury. And that is known, the veterans coming back, or soldiers, and then, of course, football. But there is, to us, known that the stroke, people with stroke, people with brain tumors, and also with brain infections of the brain. So there are various reasons why people have a brain injury, and we welcome everybody here. It is not only trauma that we will provide care for.
And I think what's interesting about it is while there's some who have suffered brain injuries, they are confined to a facility for whatever reason. But this is like a home. It gives them a nice home feeling being in a residential neighborhood. In the top of the program, I said you all work with individuals to move them towards independence in a residential community. So how do you determine which individual can move towards independence and which can't?
Well, I think it's once you live in, it's very clear that some people can probably never live totally independent. And sometimes that's the case when there's a certain age reached. When age and brain injury come together, then the goal is to maintain what's there. So, and that is maintaining the independence you have is the goal. So now they're probably not going to live alone anymore, but they can still do a lot of things alone that they couldn't if they lived already in a nursing home. For other young people, it's really, the main thing is first to train the brain more, that for instance they can they understand how to use the bus system or jaunt, that they have gadgets that they are reminded of, oh, I have to take my medication, I have to do this, all these things that we can put and help them put in place that are reminders of the things that they have to do if they can't remember. Then finding a job. So we're working together with, typically with DARS, the Department of Aging and Rehabilitative Services. They providing the job coaches. They're amazing. They're finding then a job. We just have another person who found a job. And it's really, it's great. You know, and once they have a job, I think we prefer for them to have a job first. And then if we see how that works out, then we say, okay, it's a lot about also how they feel, how safe they feel to move out. Sometimes, honestly, it is also a matter of finances, you know. So there are various factors in it, but we have our progress reports and we see how far they have come. And you know what, we're trying it out, and we are here because we're still providing services. You're not alone.
Joining me now is Andrea. Andrea has a brother who is a resident here at Building Bridges, Evan. And Evan's been here how long, Andrea?
4 months.
4 months. Okay, now tell me how you found out about Building Bridges.
When Evan had a stroke in another city, and he moved here to be closer to family so that we could look out for him. We didn't know actually about Bridges for some months. He was in other more independent in many ways living circumstances, but it wasn't there wasn't enough there for him, enough support. We were looking for something a little more appropriate to his circumstances, and we talked to Evan about it. Described the sort of circumstances he'd be living in, and he was very eager to try it out. He came to some interviewing dinners kind of thing, and he loved everything about it. And so our family helped him move here.
Okay, and what changes have you seen in him since being
even in the
here?
last 4 months?
Yeah,
his speech has. He was almost unable to speak after the stroke. Certainly in the months in rehab, and then in the months when he was living more on his own in Charlottesville in a community where he was eating in his own apartment, but where he was around people, but not like now.
Yeah,
he had too much quiet time.
Okay,
and his language definitely improved from when he had the stroke, but in the last 4 months. So it's, for the first year, it improved a great deal. But in the last few months, the spike high has been really great. I would say he's at more than 90% of his old language skills are back,
wow.
Maybe even higher than that.
Great.
He was just telling me that an aphasia group that he participates in, or I guess they meet every month or so. He went, I think, just earlier today, and they said people there were saying, "Oh my gosh, so much improvement in the last." So that's definitely been one thing. He's much more. He's through socializing and through this very caring community that he lives in. He's just much more active and much more engaged with people. This shared sense of loss that they have. Even though everyone has it in a different way, I think is a tremendous bond. And then they just flip it around, and it's turned into this very, I don't know. He has a community that he really feels well understood in, and I think that's amazing. So, and then just his, he works part time. He volunteers at the SPCA, and they're very supportive. He goes there 2 days a week, and he's just. I think Bridges has helped him. A lot of things we were talking about for him, hoping that this or that would happen. We've already seen in the last 4 months that he has a busy week. Week. He's got a social life. He walks to the downtown mall and does things. He's really. I think it's been sort of magical for him. It's been really great.
So tell me. What do you see for his future, maybe in the next few years? Do you see him being able to move out on his own?
I think I have no idea of the timetable for that, but I think we all hope that, and he as well would hope that eventually he would be more on his own than now. I think I could imagine him well remaining in their larger community of people who doesn't lose ties with them, because he's actually made relationships here and made friends, and I can certainly see that continuing. So I think getting back to a life more on his own without his sister necessarily breathing down his neck, but I think in our community certainly. I would hope.
All right, one last question for you. How has your brother being here at Building Bridges? How has it helped you as his sister, and who at one time took care of him for a time?
I would say that I was just telling Daniela that I worry much less about him than in the year that he was here before he moved into Bridges. He wore a life alert thing, and he was fine in that year. But I had a sense of, and we talked a lot, and I saw him a lot, and he did a lot of things. But I didn't feel like his community was as completely appropriate for him as this one is, and that he has people around him all the time. I mean, he had maybe more independence in the other place, but in the other circumstance, but the same kind of independence was also a source of tremendous worry for me. So I just feel like if something went wrong here, or he needed help, there's people all around him that would immediately respond and then let me know. It has made us all have a lot of confidence in that process. Let's put it that way. We're confident in the process. We trust these incredibly caring and kind and smart and grounded people that are part of this organization, that he'll be okay on the other side, you know. We're all very happy and confident about it.
All right. Daniela, we know with any nonprofit, it takes a lot of the support from the community to help you all continue to fulfill your mission. And we know you have some events coming up. You recently had an event at Alex and Ani. Tell us the role the community plays in, keeping Building Bridges going, and about the event coming up on October 18th.
Sure, I'm happy to. So the community is really crucial for us in terms of, for instance, volunteers, and of course attending fundraising events, and helping us to support our residents by including them in the community. So there are various reasons or various things that they do for us. Now, we believe that there are always two things to a caring community. One, this is receiving and giving. So, like I mentioned, we benefit from people, volunteers, like we just had at the Day of Caring. They came in, and one of our yards, I mean, it's huge, and it was like a jungle. So they came with 20 people, and just afterwards, it's beautiful. I mean, there's light. I discovered things I have never seen in that. It was wonderful. So we benefit from their time, their talent. We also have a program, the Guest Chef for Dinner, where people show off with their talents and kind of want to outdo each other and come and cook for us. And we have the table is nicely set. So we really have an event, but people really give to us. A caring community in our mind makes a sound, and that sound is laughter. So laughter is really crucial for us. So now we're thrilled that we can share laughter again with this community here. We have on the 18th of October, we have at 8 o'clock comedy night. So come and laugh with us. It's at Seville Coffee. And it's clean comedy. So what means clean means no swearing. So we have 90 minutes of fun. We have some giveaways, and we have maybe one or two surprise guests. I can't say yet who it is. So, and they're nationally touring comedians, Mike Ishmael and Mark Matusoff, and he was on CBS and CNBC. So they're known people, and I think that's pretty much wraps it up. Yes.
So that's October the 18th. Time again?
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock at Seville Coffee on Harris Road. Daniela, thank you so much. It's always great to come back to the home and learn more about Building Bridges. You all do some wonderful work in our community, and I would like to encourage you, our community, to make sure you can contribute in whatever way you can. Volunteers, we certainly will take your donations, your financial contributions, and for more information, you can visit their website at buildingbridgescharlottesville.org. or call them at 434-989-1274. We are here at Building Bridges. This is a Positive Channels special production. I'm Andrea Copeland, and we'll see you soon.